Hello, 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 hello. Test, test, test. Okay. Okay. Howdy, y'all. Welcome back to MAMIYA. Today, we'll be starting DownFall today. I'm so excited to be starting DownFall today. I don't know how much we're going to do today. Haven't figured out how exactly we're going to divide up the streams, but I'm pretty sure we'll do the first 3 chapters. And depending on how much of the stream we are in, we might start one of the routes today. Told you. Howdy, Gabriella. Welcome in. We are just starting. Thank you for coming. Thank you very kindly. Uh, yeah, so I think that we will do chapters 1 through 3 today, and we might do Tojo as well, depending on how long it takes for the first 3 chapters. But I don't want to break up the routes like I was doing last time. Well, I did Tojo first, the other time, so it only makes sense that I would do Tojo again. Um, now, yeah. So let's see. Natsume wakes up as a spectator after death. Opening a book in an attempt to save his friends, he found the story was different. Okay, so let us begin. Can't wait to see the librarian again as well. What is this? I could barely hold the book. My hands trembled as fear and rage bristled through me. What is this? Why must they grow through things like this? I mean, they were meant to become happy. I cherished them. They were meant to find happiness. And yet, it's all Mamiya's fault. They all died because of them. I gently placed the book on the desk. The so-called reality that had taken place within these pages was still somewhat difficult for me to accept. What in the world is Mamiya anyway? And what is the story? How did you find your first job, Natsume? Oh. As I stood there with my head hung low, a girl in a librarian uniform called out to me. Judging by the look on your face, I'm assuming the direction of the story was rather difficult to ascertain. You get stories like this every now and then, stories that leave room for many interpretations. Although, that is precisely why spectators like you are necessary. Collected as usual, she adjusted her glasses, making them gleam as she gave me a look. It made me painfully aware that this was not my reality. My name was Natsume, the very same man who was being mourned. I recall dying once, but the next thing I knew, I somehow found myself in this place. I must say that I'm surprised. There has never been a case of a person who has had memories from before they became a spectator. With a smile that seemed to say, and that's why no one even remembers their real names, the woman reached for a nearby pot. I watched as a madder red liquid slowly filled the fancy teacup, making steam lazily rise into the air. The woman motioned for me to take a sip. As I did, the rich scent of the black tea immediately calmed my nerves. It's also exceedingly rare to get your own story as your first job. I surprised myself. I never would have imagined that the world I lived in was like this. I mean, inside a book. Well, you see, the people living there know nothing about the existence of this world. Ironically, they may unearth remains of ancient. Oh, my phone just went off in the background. Let me turn the notifications off. I keep forgetting to do that. Okay, hold on a moment. Okay. Ironically, they may unearth ruins of ancient underground cities, yet never find out about kingdoms in the sky. I placed my cup into the saucer and slowly looked around. There were bookshelves extending as far as the eye can see. They reached into the sky, and the ceiling was so high up I couldn't actually see where they ended. I felt as though this place was an amalgam of all the libraries in the world. Congratulations! You have been chosen from countless other souls to become a spectator. The first time I heard that, I could barely process it. I thought I had died, but then ended up waking up in a place like this. It made me seriously question whether or not this entire situation, including my own death, was not more than a strange dream. Having said that, I couldn't even remember how I died. But when I opened the book, it started with my own funeral. I even knew some of the attendees. And now I remembered it again. The tragic fate that befell someone I had cherished from the bottom of my heart. You mustn't lose heart, Miss Librarian. I realize how awfully unfortunate it must be to retain memories from your past life. I have to admit, our Lord can truly be mischievous at some times. Thanks for the consideration. Honestly, though, I don't know if I'm really cut out for this. Just knowing I have to witness their deaths all over again, there's hardly need to worry. I'm certain you'll do a splendid job. The woman placed her empty cup and looked me in the eye with a gaze full of confidence. Remember, you've been chosen for a reason. The room you were in a short while ago will serve as your private quarters, and I do believe I've already given you a general explanation of this facility, correct? Yes, thank you very much. I must say, though, yes, this place is almost like heaven. She explained to me how people live here. From the private rooms of the spectators to the lavish resting area, everything about this place was wonderful. I was especially intrigued by the cafeteria. Although we technically didn't need to eat, we were still supplied with food for recreational purposes. The peace and comfort I had never known in life was easily and readily accessible here. Back when I was alive, I thought the happiest place in the world was underneath my warm sheets. But this place blew everything I had known out of the water. While here, a wealth of wisdom, pleasure, and bliss will be at your fingertips. As one of the chosen, you can have it all. And finally, allow me to introduce you to your work area. Wow. This is the main room where spectators and librarians fulfill their duties. Don't be distracted now, and stay close to me. I'm sorry. You needn't be. Make sure to steer clear of the darkness, however. Get too close and you won't come back. Her words sent a chill down my spine. I took another look around as she led me onward, and saw books. Books as far as the eye could see. The paths between the bookshelves felt like they'd gone forever. A single wrong turn would likely leave you trapped in here forever. How do you reach books that high? It's what we librarians are for. The fact that she actually heard my silly mutter made me blush. Don't hesitate to call us should the need arise. We will always bring you the materials you need for the job. Of course, we will help you if you find yourself lost. Right. I felt like it wouldn't be long until I would need her help. Do you manage all these? Yes, although since the number keeps growing without end, there are ones I don't even know about. I imagine so. I saw books placed next to each other that seemed almost identical at first glance. It's so strange. I suppose it's the first time here, yet something about this place feels almost nostalgic. Oh, but that's only natural. You humans used to be here before you acquired your bodies. I was? Yes. Humans are beings with a creator, and as such, they are bound to pass through this world in the heavens. Yet in order to manifest as beings of flesh, they must also pass through the river River of Oblivion. Mm. That's why the people down below don't remember the existence of this world. I see. That would explain this odd feeling of nostalgia. Normally, upon becoming spectators, people pass through the River of Oblivion once more. It's quite peculiar that you still retain your memories. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. He don't remember how he died. Natsume don't remember how he died. He still maintains his memories, and he got the story of his own life as his first book. Like, that's all very suspicious. She says that he was chosen for a reason. Did a did he make him become a spectator? Specifically to stop Mamiya? Like, is the Lord in some type of conflict with Mamiya Yumehisa, and he specifically chose Natsume, allowed him to keep his memories and get his story as his first story in order to defeat Mamiya? Like, I feel like all these coincidences can't just be mere coincidences. Howdy, Flay, welcome back. Yes, we are back with more Mamiya. We are starting DownFall today. And I'm starting to think that these coincidences that surround Natsume aren't coincidences. I don't know, it's all too strange. But I suppose there are exceptions in every world. No, there's too many exceptions. Chuckling, I touched the spine of a book at my eye level. So, this book chronicles the entire life of a person from human history. Indeed it does. It contains all the established historical truths. Historical truths? Despite the sheer amount of books in here? I had learned my fair share of world history as a student, but even still, this amount seemed excessive. There exists more than one world, you see. You might not know of them, but there are as many as, if not more than, there are stars in the sky. You mean parallel worlds? She took one of the books and gave me a smile. There the librarian is in all her glory. She's so pretty. Can I yeah. I love her glasses. Her glasses are so cute. Her little round golden glasses. I love her outfit too. In some worlds, certain wars never come to pass. Others are inhabited by radically different types of animals. Many of the books can't even be imagined by someone from your world. You're saying that there are even worlds like the ones we see in fantasy novels and such? Indeed. Although the fact alone holds no significance in your case, considering they're not the worlds you'll be responsible for. Each world has slightly different histories and cultures, but the volume is so immense that we are unable to record everything that happens. I'm assuming that's where spectators come into picture, right? She turned around to face me. You look exhausted. Why not have a seat? I've already explained your job as a spectator, but I imagine that repeated observances gave you some new questions, so I'll explain it all over again. Please do. People tend to dislike my explanations due to being too verbose, so instead, I've prepared an easy to digest song. You did? You'll be able to check it again in writing, so do take your time and listen. Okay, here we go. The song. I still haven't finished my version yet. When I was going through trying to assign lyrics to the syllables, I realized that I thought it would be easy for Japanese, since Japanese is syllabic, it'll be easy to assign notes to syllables. But the Japanese is too long, so like I won't be able to fit all the syllables into the same verse. So I'm thinking I'm going to try to do the English, because I think I can squeeze the English in. Oh my gosh. Was I too fast? I believe you should now be able to check everything again in writing, but should I sing it again? Should I sing it again? No, I'm good, thank you very much. No, I understood that completely. Oh, I'm so glad. That means all my nightly practice sessions paid off. Well, that's settled. I'm looking forward to the fruits of your labor. I wish I had more confidence, though. Oh, you can't? Huh. You can't? There's no sound right now, so I can't test it right now. Oh, actually, no, I could save right here. And I can go to title. Can y'all hear that now? It says that that mm, that the desktop audio is picking up on my streaming software. Hold on a second. Someone's trying to come out my door. Uh, Hold on just a second, y'all. Okay, someone was trying to talk to me, but I'm back. Can y'all hear that? Okay, you can? Okay, good. Yeah, my father just came out my room. Okay, I'll turn it up just a little bit. Okay. Okay, why was I even picked to become this spectator anyway? I gotta say, this place sure is big. Unaware that I was lost, I continued talking to myself. What does it mean to observe anyway? Will I have to keep repeating all that? I don't want to see any of them die ever again. If only I could save them. Okay. You're lucky no one else heard that. You might have been seen as a dangerous element, promptly eliminated. Who's there? A mischievous, muffled voice rang out from the darkness. Oh yeah, I forgot about this guy. I want to know what his deal is. I hope we get to find out more about him in Doomsday Dreams. I'm curious about what his story was. As I looked for its source, I found a door that seemed to have just appeared out of thin air. It didn't fit in its surroundings at all. Are you behind this? As I brought my ear closer to the door, I heard a man's voice. It sounded strange, both standoffish and reverberating. You're the new spectator, aren't ya? Yes, a pleasure to meet ya. Yeah, sure. You should really be careful what you say, though. They say you've been chosen, but spectators are easily replaceable. Though, if you want to know what happens to dead people when they die again, be my guest and do whatever the hell you want. What the man had told me from beyond the door sent a chill down my spine. My instincts told me that the scenario he described would be a fate worse than death. I wonder if we die for disrespecting protocol in Doomsday. Who are ya? Didn't the librarian tell ya? Spectators got no names, just like you, right? But I do have a name. It's Natsume. Oh, really? What were you influenced by? I have memories from before I came here. Now that's something. His tone changed. I couldn't see him, but he sounded right in a way that was different from the librarian. Which is why I chose to tell him something I hadn't told her. Actually, I can't say I approve of the stories I saw during my observations. That's so. They were my friends, and they were supposedly happy lives, but all their stories ended with their deaths caused by some incomprehensible being called MAMIYA. That shouldn't be allowed to happen. Shouldn't be allowed, you say. Do you know something? No, I don't know anything about whatever you were in charge of. I just thought that spectators sure are a diverse bunch. Are you a spectator yourself? Who knows? What should I do? I would do anything to make them happy, but spoken word has power, you know. Are you serious? I sure am. The person behind the door fell silent for a good moment. I simply continued staring at the heavy door, waiting for him to resume. So, do you want to know how to interfere? Interfere? Didn't the librarian give you an explanation? Well, she did, in her own eccentric way, but she also emphasized that interference is forbidden, that we mustn't get involved. They're dogs that could only care about efficiency. Don't mind them. That said, ordinary spectators wouldn't bother with it, simply because they can't be bothered. But you, tragically, are no ordinary spectator. Yes, I have my memories. I recall the time I spent with them. So, you want to ensure that they end up happy. Obviously, there's always a chance that you will fail and nothing will change. Your safety isn't guaranteed either. You might end up dying yourself while in the story. But I'm already dead. If you're gonna interfere, you won't just be watching stuff unfold from way on high. You'll become a character in the story, so you'd obviously be able to die. So what will it be? Will you keep on observing your friends die, or risk your own life trying to change the ending? The choice is yours. Life in this place does sound tempting. There wouldn't be a single dull moment. But if it comes at the cost of their happiness, I don't need it. For that, I wouldn't even mind dying. Do you have any idea what you're saying? You don't have to die anymore, yet you're still willing to take the risk? Well, I'm already dead. But that means precious little in this world. You made it here, didn't you? Still, I don't care how many times I have to die. I just want to give them the endings they deserve. Oh, Natsume, he's so sweet. Alright. What would I do if I was in a situation? I mean, I still feel like I would go and help, but I'm pretty sure I would be much more nervous about dying again, I'm pretty sure. There was a book with a black cover before me. I took a deep breath as I looked at it. I would interfere with the story. The mysterious person behind the door told me I could do it, but I had no idea if I could even trust him. To sign the truths, huh? I gently ran my fingers along the cover. This brief written work contained countless possibilities, and I had to pick one of them. In that case, let it be a different possibility than the ones before. I pleaded before reading the first line. Tokyo, during the year in which the world was prophesied to end, MAMIYA died. Under a dull, monochrome sky, the rain fell heavy upon the concrete below. Four silhouettes had gathered, yet the gloomy weather did hid the expressions well. None of them had umbrellas. Hanging their heads, they merely stood in place. Here we go. The Pank House crew. None of them showed any willingness to move, let alone speak. The tallest man in the group stood with his arms dangling powerlessly at his side while a heavy rain drenched his dark, anky locks. Even covered in droplets, the large glasses of a man to his side did little to hide the pain in his expression. The dark blue blaze of the young man next to him was completely soaked, making it weigh heavy on his shoulders. The last person was a beautiful young girl with chestnut-colored hair. A veil of grief had come over her eyes. She bit into her tiny lips, seemingly as if to hide her emotions. It was a mystery what the four had in common. All of them seemed deeply hurt, but they weren't supporting each other. It was evident that they were all strangers. Suddenly, someone broke the silence. MAMIYA. None of the four had the energy left to tell which of them had spoken up. However, the name made all four of them look up, and then their eyes finally met. They stared at each other with pale lips and faces. What is this? I hadn't interfered at all. Until now, whenever I spectated, the story began with my funeral. And yet, where did they go? Where are Kikuchiryo and the others? I wanted to find out about the entity that brings them pain, MAMIYA. So what was that MAMIYA died line at the start? MAMIYA died? I find it hard to believe that MAMIYA would die so easily. More importantly, who are these people? I spent a moment in thought, but came up with no answer. For now, I'll just see how the story goes. Excuse me, one coffee, please. And another one for me. How would you two? The tall man looked questioningly up at the two people in school uniforms who ended up requesting the same order as him. The waitress took their orders and walked away, once again leaving the four people to their awkward silence. They were drenched in rain. The warmth inside the cafe had dried them up a bit, but they could still easily catch a cold. Oh my gosh. My internet at home is so bad. I hope the stream don't... Okay. It says that the stream is about to end. Okay, it's still connected. Good. Ugh. I thought it would be better when I came back home, but the internet's not better at home. Okay. None of them seemed to care though. They had something far more important to worry about than the cold. The girl who had been trembling finally broke down in tears. MAMIYA! No one said a thing, not even a word of consolation. They simply felt the weight of the silence pressing down on them, almost as if they themselves were crying. Here's your order. 4 coffees. The silence was broken when the cold-eyed waitress returned with their drinks. Regaining some of their composure, the four watched as hot steam billowed up from the coffee. Some began drinking right away, while others suffered in silence as they remembered him. What would you say to someone reminiscing? The suggestion came from the tallest man. Reminiscing? About what? What else? MAMIYA, of course. The very air seemed to freeze around them. It felt as though the coffee would go cold in a matter of seconds. So how about it? I think it would help us process things and get our feelings in order. His silent tone made him seem emotionally unfazed. Yeah, no, it's not just you. It's me. I mean, I can't really control it. But The internet's not working in my favor for some reason. I have 5 bars showing up on my computer, but it says that my stream is red, like it's in the red. So I don't know why I'm having such a hard time maintaining the connection. But no, it's not you, it's me. And I wish I could fix it, but I can't. I don't have anywhere else to stream. I just have my room. So, ugh, I hate this so much. How bad is it? Is it terrible? Is it unbearable? But I can see YouTube telling me that it's buffering, which only served to amplify the anxiety of the other 3. In fact, not even he knew why he had said something like that. He didn't actually want these strangers to know about the memories he had shared with MAMIYA. However, he didn't want to know how MAMIYA was reflected in their eyes. This conflict was shared by all 4 of them. You start then. You're the one who suggested it, so it's only fair. Very well. I'll tell you about the MAMIYA I knew. Honestly, I couldn't remember when I met him. He was always by my side as an invaluable part of my life. I kept saying him and he, but if I'm honest, even now I don't actually know his gender. Do any of you know if he's a man or a woman? Was this asexuality of his just a product of his youth? Many say that when boys are juvenile, they're closer to girls than ever. MAMIYA seemed to be this idea made manifest. He had the smile of an omnipotent god, an ill fit for his otherwise small frame. There was no need for sex there. It was like a privilege of something holy. That was what I had on my mind, day by day at least. Hold on. Yes? The 3 were listening to him with puzzled expressions, but the one to finally break the silence was this beautiful girl. While I wouldn't say he didn't have anything androgynous about him, MAMIYA was so obviously a man. Really, I couldn't tell at all. Huh? I can't believe you. You could tell at first glance. MAMIYA was easily taller than glasses over here, and he had an Adam's apple. The girl was suddenly pointing at him. The spectacled man was surprised for a moment and furrowed his brow even more. The tall man parted his lips slightly and waited for the girl to speak. MAMIYA, he taught at my school. He was a high school science teacher. He trimmed hair and always wore a lab coat and a turtleneck. He seemed fairly popular among the female students, and he was well liked by the guys too. He was probably very good at teaching. He used to smile all the time, almost sadistically so. His hands were large and bony. I mean, I hate men, but his hands were special. MAMIYA had always been sensitive to the nuances in other people's hearts. He also knew exactly what was going on in mine. He never told me where he lives, how old he is, or if he's married. But that school was a dreadful, suffocating place, and MAMIYA was the only one I could unconditionally trust. That ain't right. The next one to talk was the spectacled man. He was the only one who had emptied his coffee cup. Not caring one bit for the girl's scornful glaze, he was the very pitch of audacity. You don't have much luck with men, do you? Excuse me? Listen here, MAMIYA's a woman. If you can mistake that for a dude, you must have some messed up standards for men. Ew. And you there, MAMIYA's no child, she's clearly an adult. Oh really? What makes you say that? MAMIYA's the only woman who I've genuinely loved. I doubt anyone else would have such a huge impact on me. Not in this life, that's for sure. Well, she did have a somewhat masculine way of speaking, I'll give you that, but that's hardly a justification enough for outright declaring her to be a guy. There was this unique aura about her, like she knew exactly what she wanted, and wouldn't allow anyone else to interfere. She was intelligent, insightful, and independent to boot. She usually wore a racing jacket on her shoulders and enjoyed this kind of tobacco only oddballs would appreciate. I exhaled the smoke more times than I can count. It was more than enough for a man to fall in love. So you were just gonna keep quiet like that, huh? I'm guessing the MAMIYA you knew was different from ours. Hey, you listen to us? Oh, sorry. I was just spacing out. The bags under his eyes made it clear that he led an exhausting life. Bach keeps playing in my head, no matter how hard I try to shake it off. What, Bach? Oh, nothing. Forget I just said that. MAMIYA and we were just friends. He had been at my side for as long as I can remember. He looked out at the world with large, curious eyes and wore a school uniform that was different than mine. I wasn't even sure he went to school though. I figured he had his reasons, so I tried not to pry. I lost count of how many times his distant attitude and boundless self-confidence helped fill me with courage. I really can't say that we met often. I ran into him now and then, and we discussed current affairs, but for some reason, he still felt like a close friend I had known all my life. None of our MAMIYAs match up, huh? There's something I want to ask you. Do you know anyone else who knew MAMIYA? The question he asked in a serious tone made everyone else freeze up. I went and asked around about a woman called MAMIYA, but there wasn't a single person who told me that they knew her. Same for me, but how's that even possible? I mean, he was a teacher at my school and many students took his classes. Why did everyone forget about him? What is MAMIYA anyway? The four of them has something to tell the others. However, if they had actually said it, it would be akin to denying their precious memories and their own MAMIYAs. No one said anything after that. Phew. Blackout. The story briefly stopped. I closed the book with a sigh. I'm finding more questions than answers. And that's why it came to me, eh? Yes, I figured that I should get the opinion of a senior in the field. A senior? Me? Yes, did I upset you? Well, now that you mention it, you are kind of a junior to everyone in this world. I don't mind helping ya. I mean, there are worse ways to kill time. Careful you don't get found out, though. I'm aware of the risks. Anyway, I've learned some new things, but all they did was make me even more confused. Like my friends, each of the people at the cafe were close to their own MAMIYAs, and they were all torn up over MAMIYA's death. They all had their lives tampered with by MAMIYA, and were freed by MAMIYA's death. That's what I thought at first. But it doesn't seem that way, does it? No. I then considered another possibility, that even in death, MAMIYA might still be tormenting those four. MAMIYA might have died and become a ghost that still messes with their lives. I use ghost as a metaphor, but knowing that MAMIYA has no form, it doesn't sound particularly far-fetched. If they weren't freed by MAMIYA, but were unable to let go and become trapped, they might be caught up in MAMIYA's tragedy just like my friends were. If I can save as many people from MAMIYA's influence as I can, I'll do it. But I first need to know what MAMIYA really is. I bit my lip in chagrin. I bit my lip, bearing the chagrin. Also, can someone tell me in the chat if I'm still streaming? Like, I don't know, if you can answer me and still, let me know that I'm still streaming at least. I would like to know. Hopefully I'm not just talking, to the void. So you don't have to like, be active in chat, but I just want to know if I'm still streaming. I thought I had come upon a new lead, but instead found even more of Mamiya's victims. If left alone, he would bring misfortune upon people other than my friends. Suddenly, I heard the sound of finger snapping from behind the door. Relax, newbie. Huh? Weren't you told that a spectator's job is to observe? It's kind of like star reading. If you take your time and observe, you'll be able to predict the next trajectory is worthy of being the historical truth mankind follows. Start by unraveling the causes one by one. That is the first step of the spectator. Unravel each and every cause. Well, it ain't uncommon for new characters to show up. What is important is to find the common link that connects them to the stories you've already observed. So it's like a book that leaves so much up to interpretation that completely different characters and scenes could be involved in similar situations and thus get mixed up. Exactly. The people in the cafe and my friends, the one thing they had in common was MAMIYA. So their involvement with MAMIYA was enough to insert them into the historical truth as a what if. That confirms my suspicions. Those four are also MAMIYA's clutches. I don't know who they were. Unlike Ikuchiro and the others, they weren't my friends in real life. What I didn't know was that they too have fallen prey to MAMIYA. I can't just watch and let even more people suffer these tragedies. I clenched my fist and my body trembled with anger. I appreciate your help. Okay, thank you for telling me that. Okay, good to know, because I was getting a little nervous. So, what you gonna do? This story might contain the hints I need to find out what MAMIYA truly is. I'll spectate some more. That's so. Best of luck then. Thanks. All right. I walked over to the book and took a few moments to gather myself. Yeah, it's been irritating me since I've been streaming at home, the buffering. So I'm gonna really try to see if I can find a different arrangement to make sure this works, because that's really going to irritate me. But yeah, that's really irritating me. I'm gonna have to try to find a way I can see if I can get the internet to move more smoothly into my room. I would shy away from no amount of details if it meant I could save my friends. I'll find out what MAMIYA is if that's the last thing I do. I focused my consciousness. It was something I had to do in order to sink deeper into the story. Leaning forward, I read the first line like I always had. Tokyo, during the year in which the world was prophesied to end. I took a deep breath and gathered my resolve. Then, let me teach you how to interfere. As my senses began to fade, I recalled what the man behind the cold door had told me. I wasn't deep enough yet. I had to go further down. Now's your chance. Bite into your tongue. Oh gosh, I forgot about this. I put all my strength as I could into my jaw. Ew. I don't know how you can even make yourself do something like that. Like, make yourself hurt yourself like that. I don't know. I'll get psyched out of biting my tongue, or biting my finger. Like, I've always seen like an anime, like in Naruto and other shonen anime, where like the characters they rip skin off their thumb to get some blood. You know, I'm like, how can you even do that? Ugh. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna try to see if I can solve the buffering tomorrow while I'm not streaming, to see if I can do anything that's better. But I haven't been able to find a solution to it yet. But I'm gonna be here for the whole month at home with this internet, so I need to find a way to make it work. If you pass out while spectating, your consciousness loses place and continues to descend until your soul enters some random schmuck into the masses. You get yourself a body to inhabit in that world. I didn't know if there was any truth to his words. Perhaps he simply wanted to deceive me and make me suffer a fate worse than death. Even so, if there was even a sliver of chance I could save my friends, I would do it, no matter the pain. Natsume died. Chapter 2. Oh my gosh. Okay. Huh? I'm back at my funeral again. What happened to the people at the cafe? As one question after another raced through my mind. Oh, sorry. Wait! Without even thinking, I grabbed his shoulder. Huh? Do keep in mind that it is forbidden to interfere with the story. Sorry, it's nothing. The man clicked his tongue and headed to the church. Oh my gosh. After that, my funeral progressed just as it had the last few times I'd seen it. No matter how many times I went through this, imagining their pain as they approached the casket always hurt me. Natsume. How do they see me? Under usual circumstances, spectators don't retain any of their past memories. Due to this, it's especially complicated for someone like you, who retains memories of the past life while being assigned to a story related to them. When you begin spectating, you descend into the present of a story and take over the position of an unnamed character. That's how it works. Huh? Take over? But then, what happens to the life of that person? Whatever do you mean? A single member of the nameless masses hardly has a life worth a story. I wouldn't concern myself with it. Focus instead on spectating. I don't know, that seems a little suspicious to me. Every life is valuable to me. I don't like the fact that we just took over someone else's body and that person is just gone from existence. We don't even know what happened to them. I don't like how nonchalant she's being. As a result of all that, I will be perceived differently than the Natsume Soichiro being mourned right now. That was how it was supposed to be. It felt strange that my mourning friends couldn't call out to me as Natsume. As the funeral came to an end, people began to file out the church. If I didn't do anything here, my story wouldn't change one bit. Each of their perspectives, MAMIYA would trifle with their lives, resulting in their eventual deaths. Interfere with the story. I'll make all of them happy. Excuse me, are you Morichika Haruki? What? I have something to tell you. It's about Natsume. What's this about Natsume? I came because he said it concerned me. Huh? Huh? You too? I thought it was just about me. Thank you very much for coming. What a pain. I'm out. Huh? Well, wait! I thought it was just about me and Natsume. Why are the others here? Is this some new kind of prank? I gotta say, using a dead person for something like this is in really bad taste. No, I have a message from Natsume. What? And it's related to us? Yes. Look at this. I pull out a strange piece of paper from my chest pocket. Look! It's Natsume's handwriting! I got it from him while he was still alive. While he was still alive? Yes. Actually, I have written it up during my very funeral. I may not have looked like Natsume Soichiro, but I still had his handwriting. The four gathered around the piece of paper on the bench, looking like scientists faced with a tough equation. Why would he? It's like he knew he was going to die. Is this his will? An informal one, at least. An informal will? Some people write them down in case they die. That's right. Normally this kind of note would include the person's hopes and requests, like whether to keep them on life support, what to do with their wealth, things like that. But written here, Kikuchiro, Tojo Minato, Morichika Haruki, Suo Keito. The names of the four of you gathered here. What did Natsume want with us? One of us. This is what's written on the paper. During the month before my funeral, please gather every Friday and decide what to bear alongside my casket. That is what he wants. Of the four of us, you mean? Yes. Even though most of us don't even know each other? Yes. What the hell is he thinking? He wants us to choose what to bury with him? Is that really Natsume's wish? It is. Yes. He entrusted this to me. Unlike a standard will, this doesn't hold any legal power. So ultimately the choice is yours. But Natsume wants you to properly process his death. That's what I think anyway. The contents of the note made me seem so stubborn and narcissistic that even I wondered why I'd written it. Strangely enough though, it really did seem like Natsume had jotted all this down while he was alive and trusted it to me. Since I had no memories how Natsume died, I couldn't help but feel that way. Count me out. But this funeral's enough of a goodbye. I don't have what it takes to drag Natsume's death around for a whole month. Ro, I understand. I want to do this. Huh? We would meet up, talk about Natsume, and decide what to bury with him. This is kind of embarrassing, but it still hasn't really sunk in for me that he's gone. Even after all of this, I would probably just go, oh, he's gone, and then completely forget about him within a few days. And I'd be back to having fun chats with my classmates. That's totally normal though. What's the big deal? That's how you're supposed to treat the dead. You don't have to say it like that though. Yeah, it's normal. But that's why I don't want it to end like this. Like it's nothing. I want to properly say goodbye to him. I want to do it as well. Minato. He's right. I still haven't properly processed Natsume's death. When he died, I wish I had been kinder to him. I regretted not talking to him more. And that's the kind of regret that stays with you your whole life. So at the very least, I want to sort out all my feelings and do it the right way. God, I can't stand gloomy shit like this. That should be the end for people, damn it. He didn't even keep in touch. So why did he choose me? Fine, whatever, 'cause it's only for a month. Does that mean you... Yeah, but we're strangers once this is over. Kikuchi-ryo, was it? Yeah. I won't force you to do this, but I'd like to know what Natsume spoke to you about. Is that bad? I won't be of much help, though. That's not a problem. Okay, then I would like you all to meet up in this church again next Friday. Hold on. What's your name? Huh? My name? Oh yeah. It's kind of creepy how you know all of our names, but we don't know yours. You didn't tell us how you knew Natsume either. What name was I supposed to use here? See me act all so perplexed. They all gave me justifiably suspicious looks. Come on. Hurry and think of a name. My name's Natsume. Oh. I wouldn't said it. Huh. Are you related to Natsume? Wait a second, I just realized Natsume is not his first name. I just realized that Natsume is his family name. I forgot that all of the names presented in this game are written in Japanese order. So it didn't occur to me that Natsume is Soichiro. Like Soichiro is his first name and Natsume is his family name. I was under the impression that he gave him the same exact first name as Natsume. But no, it's just a family name, so that makes sense why they say he didn't have any relatives here at the funeral. I just realized that. I don't think so. I didn't see this guy among the relatives during the funeral. Are you... Their distrustful looks only made me even more uncomfortable. I couldn't think of anything else. Should I just blurt out a random name? Well, obviously, anyone with two brain cells to rub together would have done that. But after seeing them die one by one and getting to finally meet them face to face, they may act greedy. If at all possible, I want them to call me Natsume again. No. And this is what it led me to do. You think you're too good to give us a real name? Talk about being arrogant. Are you messing with us? I can't say I appreciate being the butt of a joke. Is that your actual name? Yeah, this name scene is one of my favorite scenes too. I was looking forward to this playing this chapter again. I was looking forward to it. I didn't expect to be in such a deep mess. I'm sure it's just a coincidence. Natsume isn't that rare of a name after all. That's so. Yes. I'm really sorry. I hesitated to reveal my name because I knew it would only end up confusing you. But I can understand why it would also make you mistrust me. The bottom line is that I'm not his relative, but my name is also Natsume. You could have just said that from the start. Thank you, Suo Keito. You the real one. You the real one, Suo. So, how do you know Natsume? Oh, we happened to run into each other in town. Really? And he gave you a note that important? Haruki Morichika's gaze pierced through me. I had to make this seem feasible, otherwise they never agreed to meet up again. To be able to reasonably keep in touch with them, I had to make sure they still trusted me. I had to think of a good explanation. Okay. Please remember Natsume's personality. Please remember Natsume's looks. I said personality last time, if I remember correctly. So I think this was also a choice in the original. So let me say looks and see how that is. I don't think I clicked looks before. Please remember Natsume's looks. His looks? Oh wait. Mitame ga subete. All looking eyes. I just got a Steam achievement. It's in Japanese though, but good thing I can read it. Wavy, curly blonde hair, the face of a doll, and eyes akin to vivid rubies. He literally looks exactly like that. He looks exactly like that. He has a wavy, curly blonde hair, and the face of a doll, and eyes akin to vivid rubies. Please bear in mind that this wasn't my own evaluation of my looks, but the exact aggregate opinion of those around me while I was still alive. Is that so not today? I don't know, I feel like that you kind of made this up. The face of a doll, akin to vivid rubies. I would get a Victorian doll based off of Natsume, made with, and whose eyes are made with actual ruby. I feel like that would be a wonderful doll to have on the shelf. A nice Victorian porcelain doll in the style of Natsume. Should I get a ball jointed doll? Maybe I should get a ball jointed doll in the style of Natsume. I don't know, but him saying that his face is him saying that he has the face of a doll kind of makes me want to get a doll version of him. Trying to hide the bashfulness that came from having to describe my own looks, I went on. Natsume and I got along right away because we look so much alike. Huh? You look nothing like he looks exactly like him. Eh? So much alike is a bit of a stretch. What do you think, Rio? He doesn't look like him at all. Well, what? But I was actually Natsume, so why? Spectators appear as different people. I completely forgotten that despite me still being able to see myself as Natsume, everyone else saw me as a total stranger. Well, Natsume might say that though. He was the type to zero in on the strangest things. Yeah, I guess so. I'm glad you agree. What did they actually think of me? They think that you're a widow. Phew. Left alone in the church outside. The lively atmosphere from before had been completely replaced by an almost oppressive silence. The friends I thought I'd never meet again, and Natsume, the five had now agreed to meet each other over the next month. I could have never reached this point by remaining a mere observer. I need to carefully make sure that it all goes well. I could never achieve this by just spectating. It was a result of my ego, a clear consequence of my interference. I changed the story. Uh-oh. My words reached no one. However, saying them out loud made me... I keep saying made. However, saying them out loud filled me with a clear, conscious realization of what I just done. I felt the fact that I had interfered with the laws of this world, as well as guilt for having broken the rules. It was like a shackle weighing me down. Even so, I will save them. He's such a shonen protagonist. He's such a shonen protag. I might look into actually getting the Natsume doll. I might look into that, getting a ball jointed doll, or a porcelain doll. Let's see how that looks. I wonder if that'll go so well. The voice coming from behind me jolted me to alertness. Maybe I should start preparing you for your friends' funerals from when you fail. Fail? It was a voice I could never forget. A voice I'd cursed even in my dreams. MAMIYA Yumehisa, the man of the hour. What do you say, Natsume? MAMIYA! How dare you show yourself? You vile being. You hateful creature. I'm glad your penchant for dramatic is still alive and well, spectator. How do you know that title? How indeed? Care to wager a guess? The wave of his hand made it obvious that he had no intention of giving me a proper answer. I had a million questions to ask him. Why was he killing them? Why was the so-called trichiliocosm that supposedly awaited them beyond death? And most importantly, what even was MAMIYA? Isn't Mia does Yumehisa look different? His sprite looks a little different than how it was before. Swallowing my numerous questions, I simply glared at him. I don't care what goes on in your head, but that changes the moment you start putting their very lives on the scale. I won't allow you to drive those innocent people to their deaths. In response, huh? He grinned, his face full of joy. Yeah, his sprite looks a little different than before. I don't know, is it the nose that looks different? Driving them to their deaths, you say? A thought born from a mind controlled by science. What? Let me ask you this then. Why do you think people fear death? He merely squinted, but that alone changed the very air in the church. It felt as though he was trying to assert dominance over this entire place, and he wanted me to know too. No one really knows death. Tell me, did any human in this world ever experience true death? Humans don't even understand whether it's good or not. They are simply controlled by the perceptions that it's something to be shirked. No. People fear death precisely because they don't understand it. In the world we live in, a single death means the end of it all. Once dead, you can no longer meet any of your friends or family. You can't change the fact. So, you're saying it's all good as long as people get to live for a minute or a second longer? That's not what No, that's exactly what you meant. Death scares you only because you're dependent on your body and honor. What a simple, materialistic line of thinking, devoid of wisdom and reason. I'm only talking about good lives. It wasn't just their deaths I found issue with, but their way of life too. Admit it. It's because of you MAMIYAs that they all ended up miserable. Are you really sure about that? From a different angle, you could say that MAMIYA saved them. Can't you perceive it that way? What? Humans don't know death. It's only their fear of the unknown that drove them to view it as something evil. And so, by granting them an unknown death, MAMIYA saved them. Because you see, salvation at the hands of death is their truest, most earnest desire. How do you feel about their predicaments anyway? Did you think they would have eventually found happiness if they had to continue to live, bound to the personal cages of isolation? Yes. As long as you're alive, you're able to start over. The possibilities are endless. He's such a He's such a shonen protagonist. My, what an awfully cruel thing to say. The temperature around us decreased. You witnessed so much pain, yet you would continue to tell them to endure it and torture? To endure the torture that is their lives? You will continue to tell them to dream of a better future. Am I getting this right? No. I'm sorry, no, Yuisa's voice. No. Try as you might, your snake tongue will not lead me astray. The greatest error in the good lives they had is the appearance of the illusion calling itself MAMIYA. Oh. Everything you've said is subjective. A self-centered evaluation rooted in arrogant sophistry. None more. They were similar. MAMIYA worming its way into their lives made them lose sight of objectivity. And that's why they ended up consumed by a subjective illusion. Those are a lot of big words that you just used. Wait, let me reread that again. A self-centered evaluation rooted in arrogant sophistry. Oh my gosh, he's using big words against you, Ahisa. You forget. They are very much at fault too. They sought us out. We merely answered the call. You wrong. Yumisa looks the same to you? I don't know, something about his nose to me. I don't know, it's his face looks a little different. That was because MAMIYA, because you made sure to close off their means of escape. But this time, I'm putting an end to your schemes. Will you now? I will lead them down the path to salvation, even if MAMIYA appears. Natsume Soichiro, a stellar body coupled with a wonderful soul. He held his hand out, looked at me like a thing of beauty, and then swung it down. Ha! I'm almost jealous. His eyes burned with sarcasm, but when I returned his gaze with a scowl, he quickly changed his expression. But you still don't understand a thing. His implicated words made me scowl even harder. What do you mean? The man simply laughed at me before turning around and walking towards the door. Let that question torture you, you nameless spectator. Wait! I won't let you do as you... And he's gone. I was back? I just lost a chance to unravel the mystery behind MAMIYA. If that alone wasn't enough, I felt something intensely unpleasant as well. Almost like there's some in my mouth. Glancing down, I realized I had bled so much from my mouth that the blood began to form a puddle on the floor. Ugh. Ah! Ugh. Ah! Ah! I shoved my hand into my mouth and started frantically moving around to feel what was inside. Wait. Started frantically moving around what I found inside. Okay. Yeah. I grabbed hold of my tongue and stabilized my breathing. Before I knew it, my tongue had completely healed. The feeling combined with the sight of blood made me remember. Right. I've been to my... Are you alright? Miss Librarian. This is... You appear to have returned in the middle of spectating. It's hardly an uncommon occurrence, so don't let it bother you. Huh? Could I really just ignore all this blood? Huh? The fresh blood I had bled onto the floor moments earlier was nowhere to be seen. More importantly, how did your work go? Did you see any major flows in the story? Did you see the star shift? It's, going well. I averted my gaze and did so almost unconsciously. Most excellent. A fatigued worker is a poor worker. I would advise you go rest now. Thank you, I will. I couldn't bring myself to look her directly in my eye. She told me all the basics when I was lost and confused, yet I repaid her kindness with betrayal. Even so, I want to find the paths that lead to their salvation. Alone and surrounded only by books, I joined my hands together and hung my head in silence. MAMIYA, a shared illusion of the world's end. Attention, Chapter 3 and Tips 1 have been unlocked. Please proceed from the chapter select screen. Excusez-moi. Excusez-moi. So we have tips 1. So I have no idea what these tips mean. What are these tips? Are these tips hints? Like, do they help us out understand the story more? Do they help us out with like, are they important to the story? Should I do them? I don't know. I know I'm a little behind. Like, the stream's a little behind, so I'm gonna wait a little minute for your responses. What does tip mean? Because tip to me seems like it's just a hint. But it seems like tips are important. Like, these seem important to me. But these are kind of in its own box. Like, this is kind of its own box. These are kind of these are in the same background as the rest of them, but these are in its own box. How far behind is the stream? Oh my gosh. Okay, chapter 3. They promised to meet again the Friday after their meeting, but Sewell Cato was the only one to appear. Hmm. Mm. Okay. I don't know how far back the stream is, but I don't want to just sit here in silence. While it catches up. So I think I might click the tips first and see what they're about. I'm curious to see what they're about. One thing I had learned while on the job was that spectators had access to 3 world layers. The upper layer was the world I inhabited right now, the place where tips are pink house fragments. Oh, okay. Okay. So is it kind of like how in the original we had little moments from Pink House, and they would just be interspersed randomly into the main story with Natsume's friends. So in this version, are they separated into tips instead of being a part of the same chapter? Is that how it is? Okay, so these are Pink House fragments. Okay. The place where, book in hand, I flipped through the pages and read the story set in writing. I flipped through the pages and read the story set in writing. The lower layer was the world of the living, a place where fresh air, physical bodies, and everything else people needed to leave their lives. The middle layer was where we spectators would observe the living. While here, I could look down on the lower layer like an astral projection. Apparently, I was the only one. That was the only one allowed, so I could decide which character to focus on. Wait, I'm confused. I was kind of just reading. I didn't really pay attention. Okay. I got it. I dreaded to imagine the scolding I would receive if she ever found out about the true extent of my interference. It would also be nice if I didn't have to bite into my tongue ever again. Anyway, I was now interacting with the story of the 4 people I saw at the cafe. For now, I decided not to interfere and instead focus on merely observing them from the middle layer. I'll remain objective here. Telling that to myself, I strained my ears to listen to the ongoing story. Yeah, I just realized that too. The stream is way behind. Oh my gosh. Ugh. I have to fix this. I could not keep this up the whole month. I'm at home. This is gonna irritate me so bad. Hey! Hands off my meat! Go eat the bok choy or something. What? But that's Thomas! Bok choy? I'd happily eat it if you don't want to. That's not what we're talking about. If you don't take your meat, it'll be gone before you know it. This fatty knows no restraint. Come on, even this guy's eating nothing but meat and tofu. What about the veggies? I'm against eating vegetables by principle. Oh? These king oyster mushrooms are pretty delicious. He's right, Niingaki, they're great. Are you even listening to me? Eat your gosh darn meat! The four of them continue to argue, while sitting around a simmering hot pot. A few days ago, MAMIYA really does exist. Otherwise, how are we supposed to deal with these feelings? All they could do was nod. They felt that everything would vanish. They didn't. The four of them had all dealt with the loneliness and isolation that came with having wildly different outlooks from their peers. For days they were alienated, misunderstood outcasts, but now they finally found out who were on the same page as them. What do you say to sharing a room? We could spend our time discussing our memories of MAMIYA. Things moved quickly after that. Samejima prepared the residence while Arisungawa gathered the electrical supplies. Samejima had found a large pink house. It was far from convenient, but it allowed for distances they could all tolerate. So, Toma didn't have much luggage, but Niingaki brought over a number of packed cardboard boxes. By late December, the four were already living under the same roof. If you ask me, the key to happy cohabitation lies in setting down some rules. So I say we agree on a couple, starting with the dishes. On Mondays, it's Arisungawa, Tuesdays, me, Wednesdays, Niingaki, Thursdays, Samejima, Fridays, Arisungawa, Saturdays, me, Sundays, Niingaki. Objection. Sustained. Go on. Is this a quote? Why do I have to clean twice a week while this guy gets away with once? Oh my. A week has 7 days and there's 4 of us, so we probably can't be here on certain days. You're saying I look like I got loads of free time? I mean, you do. You use the house more than any of us, so it's only reasonable you do the dishes, no? Huh? You want to take this outside? Wait, calm down, you two. Whoa there. You're the one picking a fight. Jesus. Hey, it's just dishwashing. Even you should be able to do that much, right? Okay, let's make it so that Niingaki and I take turns washing the dishes every Friday. You okay with that, Niingaki? Whatever. Some distance away from them, Niingaki's side and simply left. Oh, I've got a call. Gotta run. And I think I'll go back to practice. I'll head out for a walk myself. And so everyone left, leaving the duties schedule on the table all by itself. It's just me, or are they really ill-suited to be living together? I'm really struggling with the urge not to butt in, know I shouldn't. I decided I wouldn't interfere with them. I need to stay on sharp lookout for any hints regarding MAMIYA. They decided to share a house, but they were complete strangers who literally just met. In my opinion, it really wasn't going well for them. Even my brief observation was enough for me to pick up on their unique quirks. One was really audacious. Another would always wear the same expression, which made him really hard to read. The only girl in the group, albeit stunningly beautiful, seemed to be perpetually upset with a generally low tolerance for other people. The last one had a calm personality and appeared to be the glue holding the group together. But they all seemed to live life at their own pace, which inevitably caused many clashes. This was especially true for the two adults. Arisungawa and Samejima were woefully incompatible. Oh, Arisungawa, have you seen Samejima by any chance? Huh? What do you even want with that incompetent jerk? Impotent jerk. You just say he said impotent. How do you know if he's impotent? How would you know that, Arisungawa? Oh my gosh. Oops, I didn't read that. He was even more upset than usual. Toma, however, didn't seem particularly bothered by the other's tone. We got a delivery for him, so I figured I'd let him know. And what did he get? His monthly order Viagra? Considering how cool it is, it's likely something raw. Raw? Arisungawa's eyebrows twitched. Toma went and placed the cool box into the living room. There's probably organs inside. Niigaki joined into the exchange. Come on, Niigaki, you shouldn't say that. I mean, I was willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. I was willing to give him the benefit of the doubt when I first played this, but now I will believe it. If he ordered some human organs, I will believe it. He does creep me out, though. Here's an idea. Let's use this as evidence and have him thrown in jail. It's a heart. A large shadow dropped over the box. It was Samejima. His sudden appearance made Niigaki put on a feisty expression. This is for you, Samejima. Thank you very much. I'll go ahead and tuck it into the fridge. Wait, did you just say heart? So it really is an organ? You plan on a transplant? Like some kind of mad scientist? Oh, don't be silly now. I'm going to eat it. You're going to do what? Are you a vampire? Ew! It's an animal heart. I had it ordered fresh from a butcher shop I frequent. An animal heart? A cow's heart, to be precise. If it's fresh, you can have sashimi. Ooh. In fact, why don't we just have that for tonight's dinner? Can we? I will gladly. Not so fast. We agreed to have takoyaki party tonight, remember? We did? Oh, great. Just when I thought we were getting out of the woods, she goes charging back in. Oh, we absolutely did. We even have the octopus. But today's the only day we could have cow heart. Sashimi. Niigaki, would you mind if we postpone the takoyaki party? I need to give the pan back tomorrow, though. Oh, I see. Still. And he falls silent. Excuse me. It's your fault for buying something that made a mess of things. Oh, is it? Oh, to be young and so easily manipulated. Is it Toma that's doing this? The two students look away. Okay. I was trying to see who's annoyed. Is it Toma? Is it? Okay. Visibly annoyed by the pitying looks he gave him, the two students looked away. By the way, how much of the fridge you plan to occupy? Like seriously? A heart? Want me to shove in your goddamn heart in the fridge next time? Oh dear. I see a 99er among us sure is busy opening and closing the fridge. Compared to how much of this place you occupy, that seems to be a minor problem. Come on, Arisungawa, will you give it a rest and prepare the takoyaki party already? Samejima, I think you should hurry up and put it into the fridge. Ignoring the two, Arisungawa and Samejima stood up and slowly closed the distance between them, with the table at the center. I mean, that's literally what I was saying. There's only one way for Arisungawa to know Samajima's impotent. Well, how much they bicker, they're almost like an old married couple. I think you're getting something wrong here. I guess I might as well use this opportunity to clear things up for you. If you're thinking of assaulting me, go right ahead. You're the one who'll be arrested. Only if you still have enough energy in you left to call your buds. And how about you? Are you planning to call an ambulance? Now's your only chance. Takoyaki party? The heart will spoil and won't be any good for sashimi. What a mess. Back off, music student. Go ahead and eat the goddamn heart if you want it so much. Niigaki, there's a shop near my workplace that specializes in takoyaki. I can go buy you some next time. That's not the issue here. I decided I wanted takoyaki now. This has already been said, so don't you make a mess of it. Go on, be nice and hit the takoyaki pan. And I can't just go ahead and eat the heart. I need permission first. Also, wait a sec, Toma. Aren't we having takoyaki? You're not planning on stuffing your face with a raw organ, are you? With a raw... Let me see. Raw organ. I keep New York accent, intrusive Oz. A raw organ, are you? Honestly, Niigaki, we can get takoyaki whatever we want, but cow's heart sashimi is a rare delicacy, you know. I'm not interested in organs. At least give it a try first. Even Niigaki and Toma were arguing now. They slid in between Arisungawa and Samejima, making the two adults raise a curious eyebrow. Hey! You're in the way, goddammit! Go the hell away! Excuse me? This isn't your house. Why don't I even listen to you? Because I've been here the longest. So you finally admit it. When you really think about it though, I was the one who found this place, so technically, it's mine. Now if you will please move aside. If I do, she will start a takoyaki party. Why won't you let me? As their argument continued to escalate, Niigaki snapped and pointed at Arisungawa and Samejima. Why are you two acting so big anyway? With your backs against the wall and stuff. You're being like MAMIYA. Crickets. The heated air cooled off in an instant. Yeah. MAMIYA did that all the time. MAMIYA likes standing next to walls. She'd wear that usual grin of hers and keep observing me with her hands joined behind her back. It was like he carefully weighted each of his words before uttering them. And because he'd always stand next to the wall, I'd often had to turn my back to large open spaces, which made me feel sort of helpless in a way. MAMIYA stands next to the wall. Yeah, she really did that. Oh man, it sure makes me happy to talk about MAMIYA. Still standing, the full exchanges a hearted laugh. The argument, the raw heart, the takoyaki, they all seem so pointless now. In the end, they decided to cook the heart like they would have cook takoyaki. They were just happy to share the memories of MAMIYA with someone. The four of them could barely get along, but reminiscing about MAMIYA managed to bring a smile to their faces. The profound peace that their stories had given them made me painfully aware of how much joy MAMIYA had brought into their lives. MAMIYA is supposed to be this cruel, merciless reaper of lives, but to them, MAMIYA is almost like a deeply cherished entity. How is that possible? And how is MAMIYA reflected into their eyes? Okay. I'll do it after chapter 3. We'll do chapter 3 and then we'll end it with the tips. Or we'll do tips next stream, depending on how long this chapter is. December, first Friday. And then I had this idea. What if we put a letter in Natsume's grave and then dig it up and open it like a time capsule 10 years later? The future us will read how we felt about him. Doesn't that sound great? Well, that's an interesting, fantastical, and wonderful idea. But it might get you arrested for grave digging and vandalizing the dead. Oh. Me too. The MAMIYA like to stand next to walls. When I read that, I was just thinking, like, I love how, like, that is... It's so random. MAMIYA like to stand next to walls. Yeah, exactly. It's so random. Exactly. It's so random. It's such a random thing to say. And then just, that was so cute. That was so sweet. Exactly. They talked so fondly about it. Yeah. Yeah. I was just thinking of that in my head when I read it. They're still not here, huh? Yeah. 10 minutes earlier. All right. I fixed my tie and went on my way to the church. My strong, determined manner of walking and furrowed eyebrows were the only means of dispersing my worries. Just thinking about what we have to talk about made me weak in the knees. If I failed this, they would be faced with a violent death. Again, there was absolutely no room for mistakes. Ugh, the tension alone is making my head hurt, making my stomach hurt. Oh, tip 2 goes after chapter 3. Okay, so that's good. That's good. That's good. It was just intuitive. And that was still nothing compared to everything else I had on my plate. Why on earth did I claim to be Natsume? I got greedy. There was no other way to put it. I should have just thought of a fake name. Why did I even take the risk by using my real one? My face flushed red with shame and embarrassment. Why did I do it? Hadn't I done anything this greeted back? Oh, I hadn't done anything this greeted back when I was still alive. My cheeks are all warm, but my stomach's cold and lonely. Some combinations, huh? I ended up having to lean on the walls to make it all the way to the church. That's exactly... Hold on a second. Okay, hold on a second. My mama wants me to do something real quick for her. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I think Kato's idea of the grave, I think if grave digging wasn't a crime, I think I would like that idea, to be honest. I think having a time capsule of your thoughts about Natsume around the time of his death, and then y'all coming back on an anniversary of his death and digging it up and rereading it. I don't know. I thought that was a neat idea. But too bad it's illegal. It was exactly 5 p.m. on a Friday. I watched the second hand reach the top and then open the heavy door. Ah, Natsume, hello! A youthful voice resounded throughout the church. It came from a tall young man, Noasuo Kato. He stood up and greeted me with nothing but politeness. Huh? Where were the others? I looked around but saw only him. Where's everyone else? I don't know. I just arrived myself. Maybe they're running late. Let's wait a bit. I sat down next to him and watched the time as we waited for the other three to arrive. Half an hour had already passed, yet no one turned up. My conversation with Suokeita was going in circles too. His impatience had grown so much that he even started counting the empty seats in the church. Maybe they forgot to come? My complaints got him miserable. Oh no, Adasuo. What if they intentionally staying away? We don't even know how to get in touch with them. Should we hold another funeral for Natsume? Okay, that's not a good idea though. Don't say things like that. That situation both saddened and hurt me. I had asked them to all come to mourn Natsume, yet the only one to show up was Suokeito. Then again, I should have expected this. They'd already been to the funeral, and it wasn't like they knew me all that well. It really drove home the point just how weak and friendless I was. Wallowing in self-pity, I sounded a brief chuckle, which was when my eyes finally met Suo's. He looked somewhat perplexed. Well, since he was here, the least I could do was honor his wishes to the best of my abilities. So what now? Do we call it a day or start the discussion with just the two of us? Suokeito looked into the distance and made a ponderous Since you took the time to come here, I would at least like to discuss what's best for Natsume. It'd be nice to do with more people around though. I see. I nearly went ahead and thanked him, but managed to hold back. Are you free after the Suo? Or do you maybe need to be home by a certain time? Oh no, I'm free for the day. Let's go then. I stood up and looked down at Suo, which seemed to have puzzled him. I didn't have any means of contacting them, but I did know their stories. Let's go find them. We're going on a bear hunt. I don't know the lyrics to that song. But every time when I see this scene and also the scene where we have to go look for the dog that Midori lost, I think of we're going on a bear hunt, we're going on a bear hunt. That was a song that we sang in like elementary school. I feel like several elementary schools I've heard sang that song too. It wasn't just my school. Let me see if I can find it. I'm curious about that song now. I want to sing it. We'll start with the school. Kikuchi Ryo and Tojo Minato attend the same school. We might be able to find them there. Since you're familiar with all that, I'm assuming you also went to that school? I did, yeah. We look up at the school building. I'd been attending this place until just a few days ago, but now it actually seemed kind of nostalgic. I actually visited my old high school last month, and it was nostalgic. Some things have changed too since I graduated 3 years ago. But yeah, I had this. I understand this feeling now. Let's go in. Let's go inside. Natsume, that's the student entrance. Huh? Oh, right. The guest entrance leading to the all too familiar school building looked so distant that it made me feel almost like a hopeless romantic, who had been cast aside by the object of his affection. What business do you have here? The aged employee behind the glass was another familiar face. I briefly hesitated to answer, but a quick glance at Suoketo gave me a flash of inspiration. We came to take a look at the school. My little brother is considering enrolling here. Good thing it was in December. Plenty of people would check out schools around this time of year in preparation for the coming entrance exams. I could tell that Sue was looking at me, but I kept a composed expression and went along with my lie. I realized it might be rude of us to barge in like this uninvited, but since we happened to pass by... Give me a moment. I'll ask the school's administration. Thank you. The aged employee stood up and disappeared further in. Suoketo was about to say something, but before he could, the man returned with a familiar smile on his face. You're allowed to look around. Please hang these cards around your necks. Thank you. I made a smile that said, thanks for everything. We might never meet again. The man reacted to it with a puzzled expression. But I go to a school that covers both middle and high. Suoketo pouted. Hey, it's fine. We got in, didn't we? Oh, and you? As my older brother? Seriously? Just play along. The tall young man flashed an uncharacteristically mischievous grin, making me feel somewhat embarrassed. We're here. Kikuchi-ryo and Tojo Minato's class. Tojo go to this class. And so did I. I timidly opened the door and saw a handful of students inside, their figures bathed in the evening sun. Sorry, may I ask something? Huh? What is it? They initially gave us suspicious looks, but eased up once they spotted the cards on our chests. I knew these people. They belonged to Tojo Minato's group of friends. We were looking for Tojo Minato. What's your business with him? Like true modern children, they didn't open up to strangers very easily. My brother here is thinking about taking entry exams to the school, and Tojo's the one who recommended it to him, so we figured we'd drop in to say hi. Oh, Tojo left right when classes ended. Yeah, he's got a part-time job. I see. How about Kikuchi-ryo? My question sent a wave of confusion across the room. Kikuchi? We don't know. I see. Thank you. Right. I shouldn't have said that. I rushed out of the classroom, hoping that it would magically erase my blunder. I had to hurry before Suoketo realized something. How did it go? They already left. Let's go somewhere else. Oh, okay. I would have preferred to stay a bit longer, honestly. You don't usually get the chance to walk around someone else's school, you know. Let's drop by some other time then. I tapped him on the back and we both went back the way we came. After one final glance into the classroom, realizing that the seat belonged to Natsume was now gone for good. They probably had their part-time jobs. I knew from the stories that Kikuchi-ryo worked at a donut shop, but damn, I have no idea where Tojo Minato works. It might have been a good idea to ask his friends, but since they had already left school, it would seem odd to suddenly show back up. I thought back to all the stories I had read in hopes. I remember some kind of hint, but I was drawing a total blank. I do know where he lives, though. You do? How? So I was visibly shocked when he heard me mumble that to myself. Oh, well, I just kind of know. I tried to laugh it off, but he kept staring at me with a look of profound confusion. Natsume, could it be that you're actually... I was really hoping he wouldn't sign a label with me as a criminal. That was honestly the last thing I wanted him to see me as. A private detective? Huh? You look so much like one. It's gotta be the trench coat, you know? Oh. Huh? Did I get it wrong? No, I'm just ashamed is all. Detectives should be able to blend in without getting found out so easily. I made a troubled smile. Suo was positively beaming from ear to ear. But it's so obvious. I guess it is. I'd have to use that from now on. After some walking, we arrived at the donut shop where Kikuchiro worked. Unless he was picking up his little sister Midori out shopping, he would be here. I opened the door, hoping to find him inside. Welcome. And there he was in the flesh. He stood behind the register, his eyes sharp as usual. Kikuchiro! I'm so glad we found you! Right. As I rushed in front of him, Dio simply kept nodding with his eyes wide open in shock. Oh, I'm impressed you knew where I was. See, my face seemed to have jolted his memory. I'm glad he remembered me. I haven't forgotten about our agreement, but I just found out that last night I would have to handle today's shift as well. And I had no way of letting you know, so I'm really sorry. I'm just imagining Kikuchi as a clerk with his sharp eyes, with his deadpan face and his sharp eyes just staring holes, boring his eyes just bore holes into your skull. He made a deep bow. It's fine, don't worry about it. I was planning to drop by the church after my shift, even if I ended up running late. I found myself moved by his sincerity. He actually did intend to keep his promise. Aww. Wow! These donuts look so good! Anyone in particular you'd recommend? So I must have been hungry. And understandably so. It was getting kind of late. His eyes glittered with joy as he surveyed the lineup of colorful gem-like donuts on display. Absolutely. Our strawberry ring donut comes highly recommended. Kikuchiro raised his voice and puffed out his chest, both rare actions from him. However, I see. Oh, I'll have one of these whipped cream donuts. Hold on a second. Okay. Alright. Aww. His passion didn't seem to reach Suo. Oh, that's unfortunate. I would have bought one of them donuts. Let's see, what did they say? It was a strawberry rain donut. I honestly don't like donuts that are fruit flavored. I don't like that at all. I don't like jelly flavored donuts. I don't like chocolate donuts. I don't like sprinkles on my donuts. I like plain glazed donuts. But for Kikuchi, I will get in a donut he won't recommend to me. If it's for Kikuchiro, I will get it. I'll probably give it to someone else though, after taking a bite. Tojo Minato also failed to show up at the meeting, so we were actually kind of looking for him too. Tojo? If he's not at school, he should be at his part-time job. And do you know where that is? No, I don't. Really? But I thought you two got along. Well... Kikuchiro placed a hand on his forehead, seemingly thinking about something. I used to know where he worked, but then he suddenly switched jobs. I mean, you could try to look up his previous workplace, but I doubt you find him there. I wouldn't count on it at any rate. He's kind of fickle like that. I see. In that case, we were probably better off moving Morichika Haruki up the priority list and start with him instead. I nodded with understanding. Thanks, Kikuchiro. We'll come back once we're done. Sure. Alright, next up is Morichika Haruki. He's not a student, is he? Do you know where he works? Probably nowhere. Nowhere? You mean he's an adult without a job? But we already have 2 working students. True. Why doesn't he work? Why? That's a good question, actually. My heart ached for Suo's purity in regards to people like Morichika Haruki. Albeit in his own way, Morichika too was difficult to get a hold of. We first went to the pachinko parlor he frequented. Natsume! Suo Keito! The noise was far worse than I expected. I eventually got used to it and decided to look for Morichika Haruki, but minors aren't allowed in here. Huh? Suo Keito was still a bad employee. But I'm an adult! Look! I'm even taller than you! Oh, he's so cute. Being tall doesn't make you an adult. But you're wearing a school uniform. Wait here, Suo. I'll be quick. I hurried inside the parlor, leaving a deeply shocked Suo at the entrance. I looked through the entire place but found no trace of Morichika anywhere. I had no choice but to ask around. Grinning to myself about how detective-like this would be, I approached the closest person. Excuse me, I'm looking for a person by the name of Morichika Haruki. I spoke politely with a smile, but that only got me a glare. He didn't seem to be in a talkative mood. I went away and racked my head over the situation. Approaching several people here made me realize something. The people at these gambling places were generally of a fluctuating mood. They could be more open to talking to people if the gambling was going well enough to lift their spirits. Excuse me, I'm looking for a person by the name of Morichika Haruki. You a cop? Did the son of a gun finally get busted for doing something crazy? No, I'm just a friend. Going by his reaction, he seemed to know him. Hoping to learn more, I repeated my question. I don't know. People here don't really get involved with each other. Although I do recall him saying something about Shinjuku. Shinjuku. The vagueness of his answer came as a shock, so much so that I ended up just leaving. Any luck finding him? Outside, I found Suo Keito waiting for me. He reminded me of a large dog who had been left outside the supermarket. No, he wasn't in there. I see. What? Wait, do you happen to know Morichika's address? I mean, you said you knew Tojo, so I don't. And besides, he's the kind of person who's always on the move. Finding him won't be easy. Aww. Both our shoulders drooped in disappointment. I really wish I had gotten hold of their numbers or something. It might not have been necessary for the other 2, but Morichika Haruki was undoubtedly the kind of person who could only ever be contacted through his cell phone. How am I even supposed to find the number of a guy like that? Wait a second. Ah! I know it! I actually do know his number. Huh? Really? Yeah. Cell phone. As I frantically kept sifting through my pockets, realization suddenly hit me like a runaway train. I gave it to Mina. You did what? Damn, I don't have it memorized either. Okay, but like, even if you hadn't given it to Mina, you wouldn't have your own phone, because remember, you someone else. You in someone else's body. So you wouldn't have that phone anyway. Like, the phone would probably be in his family's possession or buried with Natsume's body in the casket. No matter how hard I tried to remember it, I couldn't go past 808. 080. Oops. This body didn't even belong to Natsume Soichiro, so the phone I had given away was technically no longer mine. What now? when I found a way to contact Morichika Haruki, I ran into yet another roadblock. My own past actions made me feel positively mortified. So why not just meet the person you gave it to? He said it in such a nonchalant manner it almost made me choke on my spit. Mina? As in, right now? Did I hear you right? Yeah, it will solve all of our problems. Let's just do it. Meeting Mina? Again? I need some time to prepare. Are you serious? We can't keep Ryo waiting. Oh, you're right. Let's go. After a bit of a pep talk with Suoketo, we probably headed off to Akihabara. Are you sure this person will be there? Absolutely. She's got a Friday shift, so unless something urgent came up, she should be there. I opened up a good amount of doors today, but none of them made my heart keep on jackhammering in my chest the way this one did. Welcome back, Master. Is Mina around? Oh, yes. Our previous master's just about to leave, so I'll go ahead and show you to your seats. Suoketo was blank in confusion, but I walked in like it was nothing. This is amazing. There are so many servants. This is just a maid cafe. The waitresses are dressed as maids because it's their theme. Wow, these drinks are expensive. And why does a small rice omelet cost 1,500 yen? Suoketo! I whistled a scream at him. He didn't understand that this was a special rice omelet imbued with maid magic. For a modest extra fee, you could even take photos. The added value far exceeded anything you find at a usual cafe. Poor Suoketo, he's so uncultured. Sorry for the wait. The frills at the edge of my vision made me look up. Welcome back, Master, and thank you for choosing me. My name is Mina. The lovely smile that bloomed on Mina's face would have put even the most exquisite flowers to shame. Wow, it's nice to meet you. I'm Suo. The pleasure is all mine, Master Suo. And who is this gentleman with you? Oh my gosh. I couldn't breathe. It hurt, but I had to talk. Not a single second of her time could be wasted. Natsume. Natsume. It's a pleasure to meet you, Master Natsume. Her expression wavered. Was it because she remembered the Natsume that had passed away? May I take your order? We would like to have a word with... We would like 2 special rice omelets and 2 mega strawberry drinks, please. Natsume, what about the number? Certainly. Please wait right here. Mina's long black hair swayed behind her as she walked away. God, she's so cute. Oh my gosh. Natsume. His feelings for Mina are like really his feelings for Mina are so strong that they're sympathetic with my own feelings. Like I'm feeling as attracted to Mina as he does with how much he loves her. Like his feelings are contagious. I followed her with my gaze with an enamored expression until someone went and shook my shoulders. Natsume! Remember why we're here! Right. Morichika Haruki's number. I know. I got this. Exactly. We can't keep Ryo waiting. Yes, of course. I kept on nodding while trying to pull myself together. Sorry for the wait. Here's your rice omelet. Yay! Let me cast a spell on it. Here I go. Moe moe stop. There you go, please enjoy. I will. Natsume! Ah! This was bad. Just seeing Mina was enough to make me forget why I'd come here in the first place. It definitely wasn't to improve my relationship with Mina. I had to prevent my friends from dying. I made a stern expression and looked at Mina again. Mina, we actually came here because we have something important to ask you. Oh? And what would that be? Mina's twin tails gently fluttered as she tilted her head to the side. Oh, that's so cute! I'm just imagining Mina tilting her head to the side and her pigtails just like bounce as she tilts her head cutely. Ah, I'm starting to fangirl over Mina like him. Oh my gosh. Yeah, his feelings are contagious. I'm fanboying over Mina right now myself. It was entirely too much for my heart to handle. Oh my gosh, Natsume. Hang in there, Natsume. Deep breaths. Okay, I'm fine. I put my troubled thoughts in order and it got straight to the point. I believe you have Natsume's phone. Suddenly the very air around her changed. How do you know about that, master? He asked him to come get it. I see. So it was true. Oops, I've been finished. She whispered with her tiny, delicate lips before raising her head. I kind of suspected that was why you came, so I went and got it before bringing out your meals. She reached into her apron's pocket and took out a black object. I heard Suokato let an excited "Wow!" next to me. May I borrow it? Sure. Here you go. I took the phone from her and looked for Morichika Haruki's entry. I found it right away. It was a number he had given me a few years ago. I pressed the call button. There was no guarantee he'd pick up, but I had to try. Doing this made me grimace. It was probably how Morichika Haruki himself must have felt back then. Hello? Morichika Haruki! Huh? A dude? Who are you? Natsume, the one who waited for you at the church. Oh. Who are you now? Why would I tell you? Because you promised. I waited for you. I thought I'd never see you again. There was silence on the other end of the line. I was just walking around. Should I go to the church now or what? Oh, wait, no. Come to a certain donut shop. I'll see the location. What a pain. He clicked his tongue and ended the call. I sent him an email but got no response. Would he really come? I managed to contact him. Thank you, Mina. I gave the cell phone back. Mina looked at me as if she wanted to say something, but instead said it for a curt, I see, and held onto the phone like it meant a lot to her. In any case, do enjoy your food. She then disappeared further into the cafe. Natsume, that went great! We ate a rice omelet and exchanged a smile. It might have grown a little cold, but its magic filled our hearts with warmth all the same. Surely even Suokato would understand that. Now we just have to find Tojo Minato. Should we go where he lives? I'll bring some anpan and milk. I think we should visit Kikuchirio at the donut shop first. Seeing how the donut shop was on the way, I promptly nodded to myself and then finished up the rest of my omelet and washed it down with a syrupy, sweet, milky strawberry drink. That was a lot. Okay, I want to save right now. I'll save right here right now. I want to check something real quick. Load. Oops, not load. Restart. Okay. So, does chapter 3 go all the way until you have, like, in the original, you have those, you had 4 choices, I think? And it was 5 choices. And you see, like, they walked in separate directions. And, like, the main 4 and Natsume walk in separate directions. But he looks back to see if anyone else is, like, still following him. And you have choices that say you see, like, a tall figure or a beautiful figure, something like that. Does chapter 3 go all the way until that dividing point to where you get to choose the 4 of them? Like, you choose between which of the 4 you want to try to save for that go around? Does it go all the way up until that point? Cause I just want to know how long chapter 3 is. Cause it's been about 2 hours and I smell dinner. My mama made some dinner and I smell it and it smells real good. And I'm hungry and I kind of want to eat. So I just want to know how long chapter 3 is. Cause I'm assuming that these. Yeah, my mama just said dinner time through the door. I'm assuming that these are the different. Yeah, these are the different routes that we have. So does chapter 3 go all the way to that point? It goes all the way into those choices or something like that? Okay. Okay, so I think that it's probably good to stop here for today. I think that having all 4 of us at the donut shop seems like a good place to begin the next stream. So next stream we'll finish chapter 3 and then we'll do tips 2 and tips 3. And we might do some of it is in tips 3 too. Okay. Yeah, I can see that tips 3 is when they look for the dog. When they look for not was it the dog? Was it a bird? They look for Midori's animal. So yeah, so when we come back next Monday, we'll do chapter 3, tips 2, tips 3, and then we'll probably have enough time to do one of these tips. So we'll do tip Tojo. That's the first one we'll be doing next time. Once we start with these. Yeah, because I'm hungry and it's dinner time, so I want to eat. Okay, so Wednesday is going to be Psychedelica again. Friday will be Limery's Blues 2 a.m. And I don't know, I keep saying we might finish the game, but we haven't finished it yet. So, but we might finish it this Friday, Limery's Blues 2 a.m. Sunday, we'll be playing a new game on Sunday. We will be playing The Forest of Drizzling Rain. The Forest of Drizzling Rain is a JRPG. Thank ya. The Forest of Drizzling Rain is a JRPG. I think it's a horror JRPG horror game. It's adventure horror, and it recently got like last year had a update to its interface and stuff like that. So I bought it and I wanted to play it because I see got a lot of reviews. So this Sunday, we will be playing that instead since we finished Angels of Death. So if you want to check out Forest of Drizzling Rain on Sunday, that's the new game we'll be playing. We should be able to finish that entire game that day, if not in 2 streams, because it's only about 3 hours. Yeah, and then we'll do chapter 3, finish chapter 3, tips 2, tips 3, and then probably tip for Tojo the Monday that follows. So next Monday. So yeah, I want to thank all y'all very kindly for coming. Thank you for the well wishes on my dinner, and I hope y'all have a good night as well. Y'all come back now. You heard me. Also, I see that my connection's like fixed itself, so I don't know why my connection was acting up today, but my connection seems to be running smooth. So hopefully I can get it to stay like this. I'm gonna keep looking into that to see how I can make it better. But yeah. Bye. Have a good evening.